Hey guys, it's been a really long time since I've done a video, and I figured I'm in a really good place, and I figured I'd drop in and do a little let's talk video that I haven't done in a while. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to do one and kind of share to you why I haven't really been doing videos. I've really come to a really good place in my life, you guys, and I felt doing a video to kind of express that would be a great way back into doing these videos for my blog and for my page and stuff. And I've really learned a lot these past couple months about myself. So I wanted to share. It's kind of more of like a video testimonial, if you will, because, you know, back in September, I hit a period in my life where I got broken, and I really didn't feel that at the time that I was really going through anything internally that was bothering me. At least it wasn't, at least I didn't think I was having anything going on. And when I went to go visit Virginia, because my father had to do a triple bypass surgery, which at the time when I was kind of told, a couple months earlier, because technically he should have had that surgery done like back in July, I feel, and July or August, but the VA pushed it back, so it didn't happen until like Labor Day weekend. So I kind of seized the opportunity to head up to Virginia and be by his side and the family and kind of get together. Initially, when you think about a triple bypass surgery, at least for me, I was freaking out because I'm like, okay, that is crazy. And the fact that it was a triple, I was like, okay, you guys, like what's gonna happen? Like, am I about to lose my dad? And luckily I talked to people that have had to deal with having family members do that surgery, and they kind of put me at ease that we have some really good doctors and they've done this surgery before and they're good. He's gonna be fine. It's gonna be kind of more of that tough healing process, but that he would pull through. I think it was the whole process leading up to his surgery that kind of took a toll on me, that I couldn't really express my emotions with all of it, and I was already kind of keeping some emotions quiet about my mom, because my mom isn't well either, and she's suffering from multiple sclerosis. And it's really bad, and it's really, really, really hard, and I don't want to cry on the video, but it's been a rough ordeal. And I think with all of that, dealing with my parents' situations with their health, it just kind of hit me all at once, and it didn't start tumbling down until I came back home, because I went up there with some of my kids, not all of them, but I didn't have my husband because he had to stay back, so I really couldn't let loose, so that was kind of difficult. But I think that there was a reason behind that, because I really needed to be kind of shaken up, broken up, if you will, and that's probably because I really needed to release myself of certain burdens. I needed to release myself from certain things that happened in the past, and, get closure, and, just really get to a period where I'm self-reflecting on me. I'm taking the time to really take a look at myself, and I needed to kind of be broken up into pieces for me to realize just how much I was holding on to from my past into my present, and it pretty much was going to affect my future in some capacity. Because if you're ever that person that holds on to a plethora of emotions and you don't deal with it in that moment, eventually it's going to come out. And sometimes when it comes out, it's not at its best. For me, it was never at its best because when I came back home, I was kind of spiraling. I hit a spiraling period where certain different things were kind of like triggering me, and I was like snapping. I was losing my mind. I would cry here. I'd be angry here. I was just all over the place. I was like, man, this isn't me. Like, I don't like this. Like, I absolutely don't like this. I need to be rid of this. But I needed to do some soul searching, some really hardcore soul searching. And I did. And this year has been an amazing year, and I lost sight of certain blessings that came about this year that God gave to us. And I mean, I closed on my house, and that's kind of where you see me. I'm kind of like walking like in the backyard at nighttime. So I'm kind of like, I'm gonna turn myself around, like I'm legitimately like in my backyard, but it's so quiet and calm, and I just needed to just step outside and just kind of enjoy the stars, even though you can't see it. All you see is my grass. But I just really needed to do that, and I'm so glad that I did, because then once I kind of got myself, put together, I really started to realize I needed to get back in my relationship with God. I really, really, really did. And because I couldn't do it on my own, I couldn't deal with all the variations of emotions that were toxic, not only to me, it was affecting my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my kids, because I was spiraling so much. And that's not what I want. It's not what anyone wants. Like, when you're in a marriage or in a relationship and you have kids and you're a parent, like, you don't want to tarnish your relationships. You don't want to get into unnecessary arguments that really aren't warranted because you're kind of going through a crazy moment. Because it's all based off of emotions. And you really don't want to have conversations when you are just fueled with emotions, especially the angered ones. It's never a good situation. Want to have a cool down period, and then after you kind of calm yourself down, then you have conversations, because then you can be civil and it's not two hotheads talking. I've learned from experience on that one. Don't do that. That's not going to be a good look for anyone. But I dug deep, and I started talking to God more, you guys. I started praying. I got back to journaling. I got back into, writing. And in this process is kind of where I really started to really put together the branding that, is my blog, Mercy Through Healing. It really made me think about, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to, cultivate? And I've really put into context, the level of ministry that I want to involve myself with. And first I needed to find a church, because, I really didn't have a home church. And I've been searching and searching, and I was asking God through prayer to lead me to a church that was going to be good for me, good for my family. And He answered that prayer, and I'm at a church that, I'm really growing with. I really see some amazing opportunities and things that I would love to do to help really elevate the church, which ironically is a part of their name, because they're Elevation Life Center. Absolutely amazing. Run by Pastor James Scruggs and his beautiful wife, Pastor Angela Scruggs, the First Lady of the church. And they're amazing. So is everyone that is in attendance. But being there and going to service and thinking about the things that we kind of learn on Sundays and at Bible study and stuff, it's really made me think about a lot of different things and how important it is for me to want to reach people, help people, because one thing in my journey is it's always tough to put yourself in that vulnerable situation. It's kind of just easier to just stay quiet and just kind of deal with it on your own. But man, is that not the right thought process? Because every single time that I tried to do it in my own strength, no. Let me just put it to you that way without being descriptive. No. But once I opened myself up and I started talking like with God, and then God just kind of guiding my path and leading me to people that, you know, have a similar mindset and a similar faith system and belief system, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys in this video. I am a woman of faith. I am a Christian. You know, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I'll be the first, second, or third, or however many number people you've spoken to kind of share in telling that story. But everything that I've gone through in my life, you guys, I feel like I would be in the nut house. And that might not be the best term to use, you know, nowadays, but that's the only way that I could really describe it. Like, I just wouldn't be normal. I wouldn't be sane, mentally speaking. Let me put it that way. Let me retract the previous and just know that mentally speaking, I wouldn't be okay. But because of God, because of what He's brought me out of over the years, I'm 39 years old, and in my 39 years of life, I've gone through a lot of life lessons, like a lot. And in another video, I will share some pieces of chapters of my life's history, my life's lessons in another video. So stay tuned for that. But I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for the fact that I had to be broken, you know, you know what I just realized just now? Like, we're in October. I say September, it was just last month. But I was carrying burdens, I was carrying pain for months prior to September when I had to go to visit my father. And I think that's why it was that time period for me to kind of be broken up, stirred up, and put back together. And sometimes we have to go through that process. There is this phenomenal young man that gave service the previous weekend, and he made a comment that was absolutely so hilarious, but yet it was so true, because he put it in context of when you think about when you're mixing like the Kool-Aid powder and you're mixing it in water. If you don't mix it, it just goes flat into the water and it doesn't taste good. It's, as he put it, it's nasty. But you have to stir it up to get the good stuff. It has to be stirred up. You can't just leave it alone because it doesn't serve its purpose. So when we think about what we go through, it's like our moments of being stirred up, because it's going to serve a purpose down the line. We just don't see it yet. But there's purpose in me. There's purpose in you. There's purpose in all of us. We just have to figure out what that is. So if you're going through something right now, know that this is your stirring up session. You're being stirred up for a reason. You may not understand the reason why now, because we never do. I'll be the first to admit that. Every single time that I feel like I'm having a shaken up moment, the very first question I'm asking is, why? Why do I have to go through this? What am I missing? Why am I having to go through this again? And all these different feelings just start coming up. It's like, why? Not going to know why. So you just have to sit back, relax, go through this process, be calm, be still, but just know that you will get out of it. You will get out of the storm. You will get out of your trial and tribulation. And let me tell you, once you kind of go through that and you have that, you know, revelation as to the why you had to go through that, you'll see the blessings behind it, and you'll see exactly what purpose you hold in someone's life, because whatever it is that you're going through right now, someone else could be going through that, and they just need that seed, that message from you, like that divine appointment that could just come out of the works. And it could be your words that can really help change someone else's mindset, help change their perspective, help change and have them feel a sense of hope again. And that's what we need to have, is just realizing that there is a sense of hope in this world still, and faith and trust that we have mercy, we have grace in our lives. We just have to be faithful and just trust in the unseen. You know, there's a scripture that says, walk in faith, not by sight. And that's so true, because if we go based off everything that we see, we're not going to get very far. We just have to trust that in the process, better and change is coming. So just hold on to that. Just know that change is coming. It's going to get better in due time. Never in our time, His time. And just hold on to that. That's it for tonight. I'm going to head actually back inside now because the mosquitoes are starting to come out and I don't want to get bit up. So, you guys have a blessed evening, a blessed week, and until the next Let's Talk video, good night.